There are a lot of natural instincts that are in all breeds of dogs. In this particular breed of dog, there's a lot of natural instinct that they used on the farm, and we want to try to develop those as best we can. Deb and I took Bowie out to Harmony, Florida, where a friend of ours has a sheep herding school, and we introduced him to sheep herding. When we arrived and we got Bowie out of the car, it's a big field and there's a round pen that had some sheep in it that they had picked out. Now, these sheep are already trained to be herded by dogs. They're not mean sheep, because you don't want to put a puppy in a pen full of mean sheep. That would be mean. So we have a round pen with dog-friendly sheep that are used to being herded by dogs, and we have a very experienced herding instructor there to make sure that neither the dogs nor the sheep get injured. We introduced Bowie to the sheep by walking around the outside of the pen so that he could see them. He'd never seen a sheep before, and he was very interested in them. Kept sticking his head through, and he kept play bowing, and he did bark a little bit, but not a whole lot. But he thought that they were quite interesting. He was definitely into it. To start the herding lesson for a new dog, you put him on a long line, just a light long line, so that you can have a little control over the dog, where it is, how aggressive it's getting. You're able to control the dog in the round pen, but the dog can still move quite freely with just this light long line. He came into the pen, he was curious, but he's a young puppy, so he has some caution. He's not a bold leap off the cliff, somebody will catch me kind of a puppy, which is good. He's got a little sense about him. So he came in, he was interested. He did circle the sheep in an appropriate manner for herding. He did show a lot of natural instinct in the various maneuvers that you have to use for herding, but he was cautious. He didn't want to get in there right in the middle of them, because that's how puppies get mashed. When you see the instinct start to kick in on a dog who has this, their herding instinct, then you see the little light bulb kind of go on, and you see him really start to, that sheep moved away, I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to circle around that one, and that one's moving that way, and I'm going to go that way. And so he doesn't do it on command. That's what the herding lessons are for, to help teach the dog to do these natural instinct things on command. But they show, I can do this. And he was circling the sheep and rounding them up and keeping them in an area pretty nicely for a tiny little puppy. The second time in the pen, the herding instructor brought in her border collie. And frequently, dogs learn from watching other dogs. Bowie came in, and he really followed her around and picked up some good tips on how to herd sheep. That was just a great experience for all of us. They're really amazing.
Tchotchke, who is one of Bowie's housemates, is our original Danish Swedish Farmdog, and she currently is pregnant and is going to have puppies pretty much any day.
She's huge. She's huge. We've taken pictures of her almost on a daily basis, and you can see the difference from one day to the next. She's just getting so big.
We're not 100% sure how many puppies are in there, but she's feeding them pretty well, apparently.
Approximately a week before the puppies are due, we do an x-ray to count heads and spines to see how many puppies are in there. We counted 5 for sure, possibly 6. We won't know until she actually gives birth.
One of the things that happens to Tchotchke when she's pregnant is she becomes uber cuddly. And that's kind of a lot of fun, because ordinarily she's primarily Amy's dog, but she gets a whole lot more friendly towards me whenever she's pregnant. She comes over and lays down and cuddles, and we share some nice moments.
So Bowie's not going to be the youngest puppy in the house after a few more days. It could happen anytime. Oh, he's pooping now. You got a bag?
You know how it is. Every time I roll camera on this dog, he poops.
There's some in the car.
If you like this video, subscribe and click like to see more.